Okay, so you remember what we did way back in the day in Taiga Boreal, and I have kept this particular plot going so I can get some advanced intel on what to do for the videos. Now, to review, we got all of our executive admin buildings over here. I have one hydrogen lake, and so Hydrogen City is over here. This is Silicon Village, and this is Carbonville. We lucked out. We had everything kind of close to each other, and we had all three elements. So you can do some damage on a plot like this without having to mess with your converters too much, which is good because in the real version of the game, these converters are not going to do what they do now. But it's good to have them here for learning purposes because we can fill these up in a hurry, which is good because we are always going to need to fill these up in a hurry, which is why we focus so heavily on getting all this stuff upgraded. Now you can also see that I've been able to build up some fuel pretty quickly in a fast amount of time, and there are reasons for that. We will go over those. But let me tell you what else I have going on here. I have two Solon mines, one here and one here that I never use. Not that I don't want to use this in the future, I just don't really have to. I can get done all the things I need to get done by simply using one and just upgrading it. And then my Krypton mine is right there. And I do have all three converters. There is no Hyperion on this plot, so this Hyperion converter is very important. And just to get those sweet passives, mainly, I went ahead and put a Krypton converter there and a Solon converter there. Now there's also a little game you got to play with geography when it comes to where you put these things. We will talk about that down the road as well. So yeah, that's what's going on. And I have some, it does take a while, but I'm cranking with this fuel. We're going to get a bunch of Hyperion really soon as this thing's done doing what it does. And that's a really good thing because, again, you're going to need fuel to build things. And you're going to need fuel to upgrade all this stuff over here. I mean, look where we are. Look where we are at with the Nexus right now. It takes 10 Krypton. But that's not really a big deal because we already can get 3 out of that every time we harvest. And if we really wanted to, let's say we want to convert some of that Solon, just by putting in 1, we get 3 back. Again, I'm not sure if it's always going to be that way, but as soon as I upgrade this, let's see what would happen if I were to upgrade this. First of all, it doesn't take much. I have all the stuff. I might as well just do that now. I got this being built over here, but yeah, okay, this will be on the list. Once you upgrade it, I don't know what you put in, but you get 5 back. That's crazy. You know what? Speed that up. Got plenty of tokens. Not to sit there and... Yeah. Oop, no. Upgrade. Yeah, we don't have to be super miserly with our tokens. That's a lot. And we just keep getting more. So, no need to be scared. Boom, there it is. So if we need more Solon, if we need more Kryptons right there. I'm not sure what I want to do right this moment with the fuel. I haven't really looked at it, but I have time to. And we had so much Solon, we needed a place to store it all, so we have a Solon storage unit over here already built. So making pretty good progress, but it does take days to do. So I want to be shooting a lot of smaller videos and just kind of putting them all together. This is day 1. And so now that you've kind of seen what's possible, let's go back to our free-to-play, which I have not touched since the last video we did on it. And let's see what we have going on there, and let's get this whole train in motion. Okay, here we are at the tier 3-ish free-to-play plot that we have. You can tell by this useless landmark in the middle. And like I said, apart from clearing plants, I haven't really touched it. I haven't even collected my passives or anything like that. So we need to do a few things. Let's go ahead and review what we have on this land. And then we'll kind of take inventory of where things are and decide what we need to do next. You know, when you have 7 lands, not including the free-to-play, you kind of lose track of where things are. So let's take a look. So we have some hydrogen. We have lots of hydrogen. I remember that. Okay, so 4 hydrogen factories here. We have, I think, 1 silicon. No, that's carbon. Oh, and capacity is reached. That's another story. We'll get to that. Do we have silicon on this side? I'm sure we do, right? Oh yeah, it's up here. We only have 1. And we have a decent amount of carbon. They're just kind of scattered, right? May as well get them going. And we got that one up here. That's right. It's tough to click on. I remember now. Okay. So, as you saw, we are already reaching storage limits, and you know already that with these things, it takes at least 100,000 of something, in this case carbon, just to harvest fuel at all. And where are we at? Not where we want to be. So, I'm thinking of doing a couple things. We utilized the tactic before of only building 1 and then just upgrading it, which is great for early game. But we're probably going to have to go ahead and build a second anyway. So let's just do that. And just get all this storage stuff out of the way. Now we're running into a bit of a problem here with the Nexus that we only have 6 buildings left. So let's see what it takes to upgrade Nexus. It is going to take Krypton. Good thing we have some. Or we have the capabilities of getting some. But for now, we have to understand that we only have 6 buildings left to go, which I think is going to be fine. So let's just build another storage unit for each. And then after we've done that, we can start upgrading them and get us to a healthy level, at least for mid-game. That was carbon. ADD, everybody. You get to be a part of it today. And so once those are done, I think we can harvest those and kind of get all these going again, because we're going to have to anyway. These only take 15 seconds to build, so I don't mind wasting a little bit of your time here. Now we do have all of these other Krypton pits, but like I showed you before, we really don't need them that badly. We have Hyperion up here, which is nice. We will build something there. And then for Solon, we'll just have to use a converter, which is fine. Totally doable. Those converters are great. I hope the fuel converters stay great. There's no guarantee that's going to happen. But let's see what happens when we try to harvest these. Still? Alright, well, let's start upgrading then. I'll tell you what, I'll work on upgrading these, and once I get to a level I'm happy with, I'll come back to you. Okay, so here's what I ended up doing. All these new ones that I built, new storage units, I upgraded them to the same level as these 3 up here. Now, why didn't I just upgrade these? Well, because I can't. I need Engineering Workshop 5. Engineering Workshop 5 requires Nexus 5. Nexus 5 requires that Krypton I don't have yet. Now, with this Krypton facility that we just built, my main goal, what I've learned, is you want to upgrade these things right away, because the difference really is a difference. So, for example, right now, for 100k carbon, we would get 1 measly piece of Krypton. If we upgrade, it goes up to 2, which, if you have to wait a day anyway, the difference between 1 and 2 is 100%. That's a big deal, right? So this needs to be one of our main focuses. because when we earn more like that, we can put them into some of the converters also and get the other fuels we need, which you've already seen is going to be important. We're pretty much roadblocked without them. So let's do a couple things here. I want to burn the candle at both ends if I can. What does it cost to get this going? Well, we have that. So good. Let's build it. Again, if we get these down, that's okay because we have set ourselves up well to refill our elements as fast as we possibly can at this stage of the game. I'm telling you, that was the move. I'm so glad we did that. And let's see, Hyperion I think takes silicon to extract. Oh, I'm sorry, hydrogen. Okay, good. That's good news because we have a lot of it. How's everything else going? Okay. But again, your main objective is to upgrade both of these and then to build converters and upgrade them. The level 1 versions of all of these fuel plants and converters is not that great. But unfortunately, that is what you're stuck with at the very beginning of mid-game. All right? And we really can't upgrade anything else without this fuel. So what I will be doing is, you know, and I won't make you watch me, is getting myself up to 100K on both of these. And then getting that fuel going. And it's a 24-hour process, so we're just going to get there and then shut it down for the day. And then I'll have to make another video this time tomorrow and move on from there. So let's go ahead and get these up as high as we can, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I have enough carbon to get this fuel started. And like I said, there's just nothing we can do until we get this going, and you're just going to have to do it on level 1 at first, because you come to a complete stopping point. You can't do anything else until that fuel comes about. So let's go ahead and get that started. And then we're going to do the same with this Hyperion over here. And I forgot I had the little Hyperion mine right here, but it just looks kind of cool. So we'll just leave it there for now and then work off of this one. The one thing I did do is I added a power station to get that efficiency up. But we need lots of hydrogen to get that one going. So that's what we will do. And once I get there, we'll come back. Okay, so through the magic of these tokens here, we are now at enough hydrogen to get this going. So we're going to get this going too. Just curious to upgrade this. That's something. But let's get this going so I can come back in 24 hours and get the rest started. Now, let me tell you what the agenda is as far as upgrading goes. Right now, it really benefits us to not worry about upgrading the extractors. I can't believe I'm saying this right now. But to upgrade the Nexus and the engineering building. And maybe even the quantum fabricant. What would that take? That's doable once we get our storage upgraded. So that is objective 1. Now there's one thing left to do before I depart for the day. We have one building we can still build. We know that one of these things, I think this thing over here, takes Solon that we don't have, or nor do we have the capability of building, so we are going to need a converter. Before I do that, let me turn my efficiency on just to make sure it's on. Okay, good. ADD. Oh, we can't do that yet. The quantum fabricant must be updated. Okay. So, what that means is I don't think I can't upgrade this anymore, can I? Not without the engineering workshop. Okay. But all hope is not lost. So my problem is I'm going to need a lot more carbon than I'm allowed. Not a lot more, but more. To get this to 120K. So I'm going to have to use that last building on a boring old carbon storage facility. But you know, you do what you got to do. So what I will do in the meantime is get my carbon up and then get this ready. Oh shoot, you know what? Something is going to have to go. I just realized this. Here's a conundrum I'm facing. We still need Solon to upgrade this thing. Well, all right, I'll tell you what. What I think we'll do is we'll go ahead and upgrade this first. That's what we're going to do anyway. But once we do that, we'll have enough building slots to put that Solon converter up, and then we can kind of get it in motion right away. Time-wise, that's going to be a bummer. So how do I want to play this? I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. We're out of building slots. We need Krypton to upgrade the Nexus, which we're about 23 and something hours away from. But I want to at least get that Solon converter down, so I'm not waiting for it. But I got to upgrade this first too. Mid-game conundrum, ladies and gentlemen. What are we going to do? What would be the most efficient route? Would it be to take this power station away, maybe? Since this thing is only at level 1. And use that free slot to put our converter up? I think that's what we're going to have to do. I want to get that converter down. I want to get all 3 fuel aspects at least active, to where we're not sitting there waiting on building or upgrading or anything like that. I would like to see what it would cost to upgrade it. And I think it cost fuel. So, you know, these things don't cost much. Let's just sell it. I'm going to upgrade this, because now I have this, and I can upgrade it. And by upgrading this quantum fabricant, I can build the converter, and then we will finally be done for the day. See you in a bit. Okay, so I have enough to upgrade this now, I think. Yep. And this allows all of your fuel converters. Let's burn those coins. Now we're going to need carbon and silicon for this. I just know it. Yeah, still short on both, so give me a moment here. I'll build these up. And you're going to want to see kind of the interdynamics of geographically where this converter needs to go. So stay tuned for that. We're almost there. And I believe we're there now. Let's put you down. Now you're going to get pretty poopy efficiency from this thing, but it's going to get poopier if you start putting it next to things that are similar to it. Now I don't think we're going to have any problem with this, because there is no other Solon plants or converters down. But remember this for the future. This thing will drop all the way down to like 40-50% if we put it next to another Solon converter or Solon dredge, for example. So for now, I would just like to have it next to a power station, personally. I think that's going to be our best bet. So in you go. Let's finish the path around it. And get this efficiency as high as we can for now. And 80 really is going to be it, unfortunately. But we now have this passive going. I didn't want to wait a day for that. We will need a Hyperion to upgrade it, which we will be mining, which will be nice. And then we can start putting in, you know, 1 or 2 of these things and getting 4 Solon back. That's pretty good. You know, that's worth doing ahead of time. But now that that's down, and now that these are cooking, I think we're finally in a good spot. Boy, I can't wait till I have to do this for 7 lands, but it is what it is. All for the greater good, right? So thank you for joining me this time. This video is not over. This is a compilation of things, but as far as day 1 goes, for this piece of land, we are officially finished. There is nothing more to do but wait, and I will see you in about 5 seconds your time and about 23.5 hours my time. All right, it's day 2, and biscuits are done all across the board. So we'll go ahead and take what we can take. I wish they would stop doing this. Levels don't mean anything right now. Super annoying. Get all this going again. So now we got a little bit of fuel here. Emphasize the little bit. Now let's see if we got any passes from this yet. Not yet. It's been a day, I can't remember. Did we build another one? No. But if we need Solon, it's there. We can feed one of those into it. Now again, this is a bit of a crawl early on. It's just how it is. Let's take a look at our goals. Said before, this really has to happen before anything else happens. We have all the materials. We have the fuel. Let's just do it. I could burn 5 coins on that. I'm considering it. For teaching purposes, of course. But let's see what our situation is here. Yeah, all this for right now, if it's over 100,000, is pretty good. So after that's done, let's take a look at this. Has Solon, which we don't have, but what about you? We have the engineering workshop wherever you need it, but this also needs 2 of these. Like I said, things don't start getting really good until you start upgrading these. Then you can start messing around with upgrading these, and that's when things really start to get synchronized, and the fuel really starts coming in. Now that we got that one, let's see if we need to upgrade this. There needs to be Solon. We have a converter. We can take that Hyperion and convert it over. I would really like to start getting 2 instead of 1 out of this. So, what say you if I convert Hyperion? Oh, I don't need any of the materials. Good. Takes a long time, but that's fine. Let's go. So you understand why I did that, right? We really want to upgrade this. before we do much of anything else. Because if we can get something giving us 2 instead of 1, that's not only a 100% increase. We can start using that to feed the piggy on other things. You know, we can turn that into Solon. I can build a Hyperion converter and start upgrading that. You know, but it has to start somewhere. There has to be a source where more than just one measly piece of fuel a day starts coming out. That's how things start getting good. So that's why I chose to upgrade that one first, now that we got our initial round of fuel out of the way. But things still have to happen, and we will have to wait for them. And that's what we will do. I will return tomorrow, but I will see you in another 3 seconds. Okay, so we're back, and the Nexus is built. Got these other things cooking here because we are doing some upgrading and some harvesting here. So let me tell you what our goals are for now. We really want to get these things up. Let's do a quick relocation here to Tiger Boreal. Because again, this is where I am the furthest. I haven't gone total gonzo like a lot of people have, because I know I have, you know, a good month left to figure all this stuff out. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the ass, but still going relatively slow, but I'm pretty far here, you know. I have converters down for everything. All of my fuel factories have stuff on them. And that's a good place to be. And look, you know, we're getting a steady stream of fuel coming in, so much to the point where I had to build storage facilities for these things. This is a good place to be. This allows you to do a lot of things. And this is where I want us to be on the free-to-play. And so I know the best way of getting there is to upgrade these things relatively soon. Because if we can get stuff going here from these, we can start feeding them through the converters and do what we need to do there. And that's how you get that nice, healthy run of fuel. Because we want to eventually upgrade all of these excavators. And you need lots of fuel to do that. So that's what we're doing. Now on the macro side, let's see. We could actually do that now. And we might. I think I want to run into a problem to where I can't do anything until I upgrade this and then upgrade it. Let's not do that right this moment. Let's worry about getting fuel down. But just for posterity. Okay. So, I can start getting some Hyperion now. What would it take to upgrade? Yeah, I want to get at least one run down first. So, let's speed that up. That's fine. It takes a day anyway. Let's go ahead and get this in motion now and just get that first Hyperion cherry popped. But for you, I want to upgrade you. And I'm going to need a lot more hydrogen to do that. I'm pretty close on carbon. I think I'll get there. And the Solon we already have. That's good. That's real good. So, I'm going to do a little bit of farming, a little bit of converting. And once I have the correct amount of elements, I will see you in a bit and we'll get this guy upgraded. Okay, I actually got there really fast because I used a converter. So, we can upgrade now. So I'm super happy about that. Now we know we're going to need carbon to get this guy going, so I'm going to start cranking out the carbon. And we're actually going to need 200k carbon every time we use this upgraded Krypton facility to harvest. Which means, unfortunately, we're going to have to start upgrading these guys again, which I, again, won't make you watch, but that's going to be a priority. And ultimately, I would like to have converters all over the place here, all upgraded, and just start cranking out copious amounts of Krypton. Because between that and the 2 Hyperion, we can just run it through this Solon converter and always have everything we need. It's a huge luxury with a place like this. And then once we have that ample amount of fuel, we can start upgrading all of these excavators to level 4, maybe even level 5. And then we really have that ecosystem we've been looking for. And at that point, we can start upgrading these as much as we can to the point to where we can finally start building a scanner. Let's just, for the heck of it, let's just take a look at it right now. So we have the quantum fabricant prerequisite already. We will need 1 million hydrogen, which is going to take a while. But fuel-wise, apart from that, we don't need that much. So that's pretty good. This will be our kind of short-term goal. Not short-term, I would say medium-term goal to get to. And then we'll need the materials lab as well with a lot of Hyperion. I think by the time we get there, that shouldn't really be a problem. We will need the bigger quantum fabricant, but we will need both of these things working together to get blueprints. We will not need the 0-point transducer at all. It might help just to build one if we can later, just to see what it does and kind of get that ready for beta. And same with the databank. Not quite sure what we need that for. It looks like it's more of a storage facility maybe. But we will figure all that out when it's time. But this is pretty far ahead. You know, we just want to get our fuel down now and get it going. And so to kind of end this video off, let me get everything storage-wise good enough, and let me get 200,000 carbon so we can feed it into this guy and get it going along with our Hyperion factory. So by the time the next video rolls around, we can really have something usable to move forward with. So I'm going to start doing that now. I will see you in 5 seconds, however long it takes for me to get here. Okay, so I finally have enough here. Let's go ahead and get that started. Boom. In the meantime, I put a path around that. I build a power station here. Pathed it up. Built a lot of storage facilities. And if we want to upgrade them, it's going to take this engineering workshop upgrade, which is fine because that's our next goal probably anyway. We have the Solon, and we can get these other two pretty quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, get this upgraded, and then we can end the video on that after we talk about what our next moves are going to be going forward from there. It's important. All right, so can we upgrade this now? Almost. Let's see if we actually have that in our passives. A little short. All right, we'll burn a token. I mean, look how many we have. Look how many we're going to get later. And we're not timing this anymore, so you know what to do. So we will upgrade this. Now, ultimately what we would like is to have two identical Krypton mines going at the same time, both upgraded to at least level 2. That would be a really nice way to feed the piggy everywhere else. With that and one upgraded Hyperion mine going, and a good upgraded Solon converter, and sirens going off in the background, we would be in really great shape. Problem is, every time you mine one of these things, it takes 200,000 carbon. All right? You will always need lots of these to do things. So that is why, instead of building some of these extra fuel mines, I never know what to call these things, we're going to focus on building up all of these to at least level 4, if not level 5. Once we get the amount of fuel going that we had back over at Taiga Boreal. Now we can get there, but this is how you lay the groundwork for that to happen. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. It didn't even seem like we got very far, but this initial stage of the fuel game is very important how you set it up, because I think if you set it up the right way, you can really make everything easier on you later. And I feel like that's what we've done. So again, thank you for joining. Get ready for the next mid-game video where we start taking this even further. And I will see you down the road.